Hey guys, welcome back to the Dr. Cliff AUD vlog. This is vlog number 31, and before I get into what I want to talk about in today's vlog, I just want to say thank you for all of the support from last week's vlog. As many of you know, I talked about the passing of Dr. Eric Hagberg in that particular video. Your words of support have been terrific, not just towards me, but towards the family members of Dr. Hagberg. I had a lot of family members reach out to me of his this past week, expressing their thanks for your guys' support. So I want to thank you right off the bat. The obituary has actually been uploaded online, and I will link that in the description below. And the family has requested that in lieu of flowers for Dr. Hagberg, they requested that you go to chooseaudiology.org and make a donation. The whole purpose that he had at the end of his career and even in his retirement was to make sure that Medicare beneficiaries had access directly to audiology care, and that's something that he really wanted to see happen. So the family is in definite support of that, and they want to make sure that that is seen through even after his passing. All right, so in this week's vlog, I really want to talk about my week and what I do and what my schedule is like. A lot of people reach out to me oftentimes wondering how I find the time to do all of the stuff that I do. So I just kind of want to share with you the typical schedule that I would have throughout the week. And let's go ahead and start with Monday. So Monday mornings around 4:30 is when I wake up, and I do this every day of the week. And the main reason I wake up that early is because if I want to get my workouts in, I have to do at least one workout before work, and work starts at 8 o'clock for me. So by waking up at 4:30, it allows me to go for about an hour run each morning. I really try to run in the mornings just because out here in Arizona it gets so stinking hot, and I can't really run with any amount of effectiveness, I guess I would say, at least in the summertime, if I choose to run in the afternoons. But once I get that morning workout done, of course, get ready for work, and I usually leave for work around 6:50 in the morning and get to work around 7:20 or 7:30, somewhere around there, just to make sure that everything's ready to go before my 8 o'clock patient. And I basically work from 8 o'clock till 5 o'clock each and every day seeing patients, except for an hour break for lunch each day. And as a little side note, I eat peanut butter and jelly and an apple every single day at work for lunch because it only takes me about 15 minutes, which usually opens up my schedule a little bit more to do other things, like if a patient runs over into lunchtime or a drop-off repair happens, something that I can do during that lunch hour. After I get done seeing my last patient of the day, usually around 5 o'clock, I'll usually stick around the office to complete things for about a half hour to an hour, which usually gets me home around 6 or 6:30 because my commute is a half hour each way. And what I do after work just depends on the particular day. So some days of the week I will go right for a workout. So whether it is weightlifting or whether it is cycling at the end of the day, I'll do that. I'll come home, I'll eat dinner, and then I'll basically sit down in front of the TV for about 30 minutes to an hour before I have to go to bed. Sometimes I'm actually working on editing at that time of the videos that I filmed on the weekend prior. Other days I'll come home, I'll eat dinner right away, and then I'll jump right into usually doing some final edits on videos that Ashley has prepared for me. Ashley, if you don't know, is my wife. She does a lot of the rough editing of my videos immediately after I film them. And so what I have to do is I have to go in and do my final edits and overlays and voiceovers and things like that. Generally, I get to bed around 10 o'clock at night, which gives me about 6.5 hours per night of sleep, which is, fairly adequate. I think I should probably be sleeping more, but for the current time period, about 6.5 hours is what I can get away with in order to accomplish all the other things that I want to do. Now, I try to post videos 3 times a week. I typically like to post on a Tuesday morning, on a Friday morning, and then on a Sunday afternoon for my vlog. So I just need to make sure that all of the editing that I want done for a particular video is done at least the night prior to when I want to post, because I always have to submit my videos for custom closed captions. Since the community that I serve happens to be hard of hearing, of course, I want to make sure that there are really good closed captions on all of my videos. The exciting stuff comes down to Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now, my wife made me stop working in the clinic on Fridays about, I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago, and that has actually helped a lot for me developing content for the channel. So on Friday mornings, I'll wake up again pretty early, and I'll get out for a really long bike ride, usually around 2 hours or so. Once I'm done with that bike ride, I'll come back, I'll clean up, have breakfast, all of that, and then I'm usually doing phone calls. I usually have 3 to 5 phone calls every Friday with either providers in my network, interviewing providers for my network, having conversations with other industry professionals, doing calls in preparation for podcasts and interviews and things like that. Once I get all of those phone calls out of the way, I will generally start working on research and scripting for the videos that I want to do on that particular weekend. And so this takes a really big chunk of my Friday out, and I usually don't get done with all of this stuff till about 5 or 6 p.m., which is just in time for dinner and to try to relax a little bit during the evening. Saturdays are my favorite day because I go out for a really long trail run, at least during the summertime, and I'm out for usually around 2 to 3 hours or so in the summertime. I try to get out really early by about 6 a.m. so I can be done by about 9 a.m. before we really start hitting the triple digits. Once I get back and have a chance to cool off a little bit, eat breakfast again, I'm usually jumping right back into the researching and scripting of my videos. And I try to be done with that by about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and that allows me to do my recording. So I try to record, sometime in the early afternoon. Sometimes it gets delayed until the evening. It just depends on the complexity of the videos that I'm making for that particular week. But then I usually spend several hours recording my videos. My videos are fairly structured, at least the ones that are not my vlog videos like these. These are a little more, free talking. But my other videos are very structured because I'm trying to get a very specific point across to my viewers, and I don't want to kind of waste their time with a lot of fluff that's built into that video. So I design a script and I try to adhere to that script fairly closely. Of course, sometimes I will go off script a little bit if I'm trying to drive home a particular point, but for the most part, the recording of those videos, and I do those videos back to back, that takes me about anywhere between 2.5 to 3 hours to record 2 videos. Sometimes when I'm done recording videos on a Saturday, I'll jump right into editing, either doing some rough editing myself or doing some final edits on videos that I recorded the weekend prior that have already been rough edited by Ashley. I generally get to bed on Saturdays really late. By about 11 o'clock is when I go to sleep on Saturdays. And then on Sundays, I try to wake up around 5 or 5:30 because I want to be out on the road for my long bike ride by about 6 a.m. Now, sometimes this doesn't happen. Sometimes I oversleep. It's not a good thing, especially in the summertime, because it gets really, really hot really, really early. And so the sooner I get out on the road, the better cycling I actually experience. Now, in the summertime, I actually teach a course for the University of Illinois. So I spend some of my Sunday morning working on the scripting and content for that particular course. Now, this is only for the summertime. That is not something that I do the rest of the year. So we're really looking at about 8 or 9 weeks of me working on that particular course and recording my courses for the students at the University of Illinois. Outside of that, though, really the vlogging is where I'm spending most of my time on Sundays. So I come up with a topic. I generally don't script these very much. I have my main topic and I have a couple subtopic points that I want to make sure that I touch base on during the vlog, but for the most part, it's just me kind of having a conversation with you. Once I'm done recording the vlog, which only usually takes me about 20 minutes or so, I end up editing the vlog, and there's relatively minimal edits that happen with the vlogs compared to my other structured videos. But I try to get this video edited as soon as I can because I have to get it submitted for captioning, and I need to get that captioning back this same day. And then I want to be able to post this video on Sunday nights because I don't want to have it kind of overlapping with other structured videos that I release. On Sundays, I generally try to be done with any kind of video content creation, research, reviewing of different devices by about 4 or 5 p.m. because I really want to spend at least a couple hours with my dog and with my wife. I usually go to bed around 10 o'clock or so again on Sunday nights, and I repeat the whole process again the following week. So some people ask me, Cliff, why do you do this? Why do you spend so much time creating all of this video content? You obviously take nearly all of your free time to do it. And I ask myself that sometimes as well. Sometimes I feel bad taking time away from family. I definitely don't spend enough time with family by having my schedule jam-packed like this. But the thing that always gets me is any time that I go online, and it's usually Facebook, to be honest with you, I see so much misinformation being passed along on Facebook in the consumer world, or by companies who are targeting, susceptible individuals who don't have enough foundational understanding of hearing treatment, and being taken advantage of from companies like Nano Hearing Technologies. Anytime that I see an ad for one of these companies out there promising these unrealistic expectations, and anytime that I see, someone making a recommendation that, oh, you should get this hearing aid because it works for me, it drives me crazy, to be quite honest with you. And it drives me so crazy that I feel like it's one of my responsibilities to make sure that I pass along accurate information to individuals so they can make an informed decision on what they want to do with their healthcare. Now, if people are unaware of what really goes into quality hearing treatment, and not even quality, just success with hearing treatment, I think that they would make better decisions for themselves. So anytime that I'm thinking about taking a step back and reducing the amount of video content that I'm creating, all I can think about are the individuals out there who are being taken advantage of all the time, who are not experiencing the highest level of hearing ability that they want to be experiencing. And that's what really keeps me motivated and going and creating more content. I know that I won't do this forever. I've made a video explaining that before several weeks ago about how I will not be an audiologist forever, about how I'll not make content like this forever. But for right now, my mission in life is to serve the hearing impaired community. All right, guys, there you go. That is all I want to talk about for this week, which is basically the week in the life of Dr. Cliff. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and check out my other vlogs if you haven't seen them yet. Other than that, take care and I'll see you next week.